It's a typical day in this playground. Children are playing together on swings, merry-go-rounds, and jungle gyms. But what these children don't know is that they are part of an experiment. With their parents' consent, we wanted to find out how the children would react if a stranger approached them and tried to lure them out of the playground. The stranger, who was really an actor, approached all 9 children.
What's your name? Dara? Sierra. Did you see my little dog? No, I'm really worried about him. It looks like this. You sure you didn't see the little dog? It means a lot to me. Just a little dog, you know? So what grade are you in? Second. Second? Here, boy. His name is Max, okay? Just, this is what he looks like, okay? If we see dogs, this is what, he's a little guy, really friendly. You'll love him, okay? Okay. He's a great dog, all right? Okay. We'll just go check over here, all right? What's that?
I wonder what happened to the rest of the kids.
Oh, they're running around. So,
I wonder where that little one with the polka dot.
what's your name?
Pete.
Pete?
Nick.
Your name's Nick? You're not sure? We'll go
That's
see.
my first name.
Nick's your first name.
That's my nickname.
Okay. Isn't he cute?
Yeah.
Yeah? What would you name him? You think he's a good dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm really worried about him. I wish I could find him, you know? I don't know, maybe you can help me.
Of the 9 children, 7 left with the stranger. The results shocked the parents, who believed they had drilled all there is to know about stranger danger into their kids. After the experiment, we gathered the parents and children into a classroom to discuss what had just happened.
We have talked about it and talked about it, stranger danger. We've got books, we've done drills and everything. And when I saw them going away with him, I'm like, no, not my children. They wouldn't go away with, with a stranger, somebody that they didn't know.
iSearch comes to their school each year and does a program on stranger danger, and we've read the books and done all of that about how you don't go with strangers. And one of the things I know iSearch uses is the dog. So I was kind of surprised, and both Ms. Walton and I were up here going, I don't believe they're going.
I know that strangers can take you away, and they could do tricks on you to make you go to his car or someplace else, and he could lock you in there and then take you somewhere.
Although you may believe that your child would know how to react to a stranger's advancements, he or she may be as easily led away as these children were. It is not a result of bad parenting. It is because they have not been given the appropriate skills for coping with the situation. Like any other learning, stranger safety rules need to be reinforced through conversation, role-playing, and repetition.
It's never too early to begin to educate your children about the dangers that face them out there in the world. But the kind of education that they need and the kind of dangers they face will change as age increases. Obviously, children are less amenable to abduction by a stranger at an early age than they would be when they're out going to school and going shopping on their own. By the same token, the danger from other natural disasters such as fire would be far greater for younger children. Particularly with regard to concern for and about strangers, once a child is able to be up and about and speak with strangers, have discourse with strangers, that is the time I think that children should be aware of the potential problems. Parents need to educate and protect their children, but parents need to be very cautious not to frighten their children unnecessarily. There isn't a stranger behind every mailbox lurking around trying to steal your children from you. So that on the one hand, children need to be concerned about and need to protect themselves from the real dangers that are out there. But it makes no sense to traumatize a child and to negatively impact on the quality of their everyday life. Parents need to have a balanced, measured approach, and that's the healthiest thing, both with regard to child protection as well as the psychological well-being of your child.
You'll want to make sure that your child understands what a stranger is. A stranger, basically, is someone your child doesn't know. Of course, you don't want your child to be hostile or wary of all strangers they meet. Tell them that it is safe to talk to strangers if a parent or an adult caring for them is there. And give them examples of who is or isn't a stranger.
Uncle Fred, Grandma, and Grandpa, your best friend Molly, are they strangers?
No,
What about the mailman? Is he a stranger?
I don't know.
Well, although you see him every day, he is still a stranger because you don't know him like you know your friends and family, do you?
Right.
Reinforce to your children that strangers can also be people they are familiar with by sight, such as the mailman, a crossing guard, or a construction worker. Tell them who you consider a friend or a stranger. Your children should also know that strangers can be young or old, men or women. But remember, the goal is not to frighten them, just to teach them how to be safe. Remind them that children are usually never bothered by strangers who want to hurt them. Most adults are very nice. And there are also many people who care about them and watch to make sure they are safe.
Who's there?
I'm delivering a package. Can you open the door, please?
Home. Most people would consider it to be the safest place in the world. But sometimes locks on windows and doors are not enough to keep harm away. The phone and the door are two vehicles strangers often use to find out if children are home alone. So it's important that you educate your children about doorbell and phone strangers. Here are some rules you can teach them to use if they are home alone.
Who's there?
Tell them not to answer any questions until they know who they are speaking with. If it is not a voice they recognize, they should ask, "Who's there, please?"
Are your parents home?
Make sure children understand that they should never say that they are alone. If a stranger asks if they are alone, your children should know to tell the stranger that a parent is home but unable to come to the door. Some good lines they can use are, "Mom's taking a nap, please come back later." Or, "Dad's taking a shower, please try later." Or perhaps, "Mom's on the phone, she can't come to the door."
Now, we don't open the door for anyone, right? Except for relatives like Grandma and Auntie Sue, or for Brad next door, or for your friend Molly.
Tell your children who they should or should not open the door for if they are home alone.
I'll get it. It's Melissa.
Even if your children are expecting someone, like a playmate, they should not open the door until they are sure who is there. Reinforce the rule that they should always find out who is at the door before opening it.
Who's there?
Are your parents home?
My mom's taking a nap. Can you come back?
I like to save myself the trip. Can you just open it for a moment? You don't have to worry. I'm the delivery man. Your mom would say it's okay to let me in.
A stranger might try to fool your child into believing that he or she is a policeman or a delivery person by wearing a uniform. Tell your children that the same door rules apply, even if someone is in a uniform. It is not all right to open the door if they are home alone. They should ask that person to come back later. Also, tell your children to let you know if a stranger comes to the door when you're not home, so you can check out the incident for yourself if it seems strange.
Come on, kid. Open the door. You know, if you open the door, I can give you this package, then I'll go. Hey, looks like there might be a toy in this package. Is it your birthday?
A stranger might be persistent if he believes your child is alone. Tell your children that if a stranger keeps ringing your doorbell or tries to get in, they should call for a neighbor or the police to come right away.
Hello?
Your children should know not to answer any questions on the phone until they know who they are speaking with. If it is not a voice they recognize, they should ask the stranger to identify him or herself by asking, "Who is this, please?" Here's why.
Hello, is your mommy home?
No,
She's not. Well, how about your daddy?
he doesn't live here no more and my mommy just went to the store.
As you can see, children should never say that they are home alone. Teach them to say something like, "Mom can't come to the phone right now."
That's too bad. I had a big prize to give your mom. Well, can I bring it over anyway and give it to you? It sure would be a nice surprise for your mom when she got home.
Phone strangers can also be persistent if they suspect a child is really alone. Instruct your child to hang up if a stranger persists or threatens to come over, and to call a neighbor or the police right away. Make sure that your children know where to call for help when they are alone. List emergency numbers, such as the police, fire station, and hospital, and also places they can call if they are unsure of what to do, such as your neighbors or relatives. The phone numbers should be kept in the same place all the time so that your child doesn't have to search for them in an emergency. There are many public places outside of the home where children should be alert for strangers. School playgrounds, parks, shopping malls, and public bathrooms are just a few.
The best way to protect your child in their everyday life and in public places is to teach them to use common sense. A young child shouldn't be going to a public washroom in a park, for example, alone. You need to use some common sense as a parent or as a guardian or temporary custodian with regard to how you can be present and safeguard kids in that circumstance. Obviously, a male is not going to go to a female washroom with a 12-year-old girl, but he can stand outside and be mindful of what's occurring and who's going and coming, and be aware of the sensible amount of time that the child should be spending in there and somewhat appropriate assistance to find out what's going on if that time period drags on.
One of a parent's most trying times is when a child feels he or she is old enough to venture from home alone. It becomes a struggle between independence and safety. When children start to venture out on their own, they're going to be quite innocent about the world beyond their neighborhood. Although you may be worried about your child's safety when he or she ventures out alone, there are ways in which you can prepare your child to become streetwise to potential danger. Teach your children about safety zones, public places where they can run for help, such as a store, a library, or an office. Also teach them how to ask for help once they've found security. And for areas with 911 emergency service, you can teach your children how to dial 911 for emergencies. Tell them that the emergency operator would want to know where they are calling from, as well as their name and address.
Please, can you help me?
What's wrong?
A man was following me. Can you call the police?
Well, I don't see anyone out there now.
Unfortunately, some adults are not very receptive to children's cries for help. They think they're playing a prank or being attention getters. Tell your child to persist if the first person they find doesn't respond to their call for help, and to keep persisting until someone acknowledges their cry.
Excuse me. Can you tell me how to get to Maple Street?
Yeah, you go down this street, go to Blackstone, then take a right, then a left.
Okay, I'm still not sure I know how to get there though. Why don't you hop in and you can show me? I'm sure your mom would be very pleased if you helped me out.
No.
It is extremely important to teach children that if a stranger asks questions and the child is alone, then he or she should get away. This is especially true if the questions get personal, such as asking for a name or address. During stranger safety talks, parents should keep repeating, "Never go anywhere with a stranger."
If I say no to a grown-up, won't he get mad at me?
It's okay to say no to a stranger. I know it may feel funny to say no to a grown-up, but if you don't know them, it's okay.
But what if they're hurt, like they had a bad accident or a heart attack? Should I run away if they ask me to help them?
If you really think a stranger is hurt, the best thing for you to do is find another grown-up that you know, and they'll know what to do.
But what if no one's around?
Well, then you find the telephone, you call me at work, or either you call the police. Do you remember how to use the telephone in an emergency?
I call 911.
That's right.
Excuse me. Hi, what's your name? Oh, hi, Sarah. You know, your mom had to work late tonight and she asked me to take you home. I'm supposed to pick you up.
The most important rule you can teach your child about strangers is one I've already mentioned. Never go anywhere with a stranger. Never walk or go for a ride. If a stranger offers to take you for a ride, yell no and run, and then tell an adult right away. Here are some more rules you can teach your children about riding with strangers. Tell your children never to go with a stranger unless you have told them about it in advance. If you have arranged for someone to pick up your children who they are not familiar with, have that person use a password that you've shared with your children in advance. For example, a character from a nursery rhyme, such as Simple Simon or Little Miss Muffet. Or perhaps a phrase, such as, "I've come to give you a ride on my magic carpet." Make the password memorable and stick to it for all occasions, unless you suspect that too many people are finding out about it. If someone your child knows a little bit offers him or her a ride, it might be confusing. Should your child treat acquaintances like strangers? A good option is for your child to tell acquaintances that your family has rules about who he can ride with. Most people will understand your desire for safety and won't be offended. Tell your children who it is okay to get in a car with at any time, such as certain relatives or friends.
It's a shame these games cost so much.
Uh-huh.
I've got some pretty cool games at my house. Do you ever play Battleship Destroyer?
Yeah, that's a neat game.
You know, I don't live very far from here. We could go to my house and play some games.
Well,
We could get some pizza, too.
well, okay, I guess.
Great.
Unfortunately, some strangers are very good at luring unsuspecting children to their cars. They'll make promises of gift giving, free candy, a movie. So it's important to talk about stranger tricks to your children.
Typically, if a child is in trouble, run to the largest concentration of people that you can find. Run to a public place. That's true of little kids, and that's true of adult men and women. If in trouble, find a crowd. That's the best advice you can give, but don't run through traffic to get there.
Let's review some of the stranger safety rules you can teach your children. Don't answer a stranger's personal questions or give him or her information on the phone. Don't answer the door if you're home alone unless you know who's there and your parents said it was okay. Tell a teacher if you see a stranger watching children in the playground or around school. Don't go into public bathrooms alone. Don't go anywhere with strangers without your parents' permission. Never go for a ride or walk with a stranger. If someone you don't know is supposed to pick you up, use a password to make sure it's the right person. Don't accept anything from a stranger. Child experts believe that one of the most effective ways to reinforce learning is through role-playing and what-if games. We'll show you some hypothetical situations you can try with your child.
Okay, hon, what if you're walking home from school and a car pulls up next to you and the driver says he wants you to show him how to get to the grocery store? What will you say?
I'll say no and run away.
Great.
What if you're at the park playing with your friends and a nice lady walks up and calls you by name? She says, I want you to come home early for dinner. She says that I told her to bring you home. Would you go with her?
Only if you told me it was okay ahead of time.
Sam, if you were to go into the bathroom in your school and you would see a man in there, what would you do?
I run out and tell my teacher.
Okay, what if the mailman delivers mail to our house and you're playing outside and Mommy's watering the yard nearby and the mailman says to you, isn't it a beautiful day? Are you enjoying it? Is it okay for you to answer him then?
Yes, because you're with me.
That's right. It's okay to talk to strangers when you're with me or with a grown-up you know. But the mailman is still a stranger in a way because you don't know very much about him, do you?
Mm-mm.
Sam, how about if you were walking home and it started to rain and a neighbor offered you a ride? Would you go with them?
Only if I knew him really well.
How about if you didn't know them very well?
I'll say to them that my family has certain rules about who I can ride with.
These are just a few examples of what-if games you can try with your child. Also, create some of your own for situations that apply specifically to your family or neighborhood. There's no guarantee that your child will never be approached by an abductor, but by teaching your children stranger safety skills, they will have a much greater chance of avoiding harm or of being kidnapped. Make sure your children know their own complete names and addresses, including city and state, and how to call the police and make collect calls. Teach them about strangers and how to react to potentially dangerous situations. Reinforce their learning with role-playing and what-if games. And remember to reassure them that stranger danger, like fire and water hazards, is very rare and will probably never happen to them or anyone they know.